Let me ask you something deeply personal. Have you ever found yourself giving and giving, waiting for someone to see your worth, only to feel ignored or overlooked? It's as if no matter how much effort you put in, how much time you invest, or how much you try to prove your value, the other person still doesn't see you the way you want them to. It's painful, right? It can make you question yourself, your confidence, and even your sense of self-worth. But here's the truth. The issue isn't you. It's not about your looks, your personality, or your achievements. The real problem lies in the energy you're giving off and the way you're positioning yourself in their world. There's a secret, one that most people will never tell you, but I'm about to share it with you, and this secret will flip the script entirely. What if I told you that you don't need to chase them, that instead you can become so magnetic, so undeniably valuable that they will chase you? Yes, you. The best part. This doesn't involve manipulation, lying, or becoming someone you're not. It's about unlocking a powerful mindset rooted in ancient Stoic philosophy and modern dark psychology. It's about understanding the principles of human nature and using them to your advantage, not to control others, but to control yourself. Think about it. Why do some people walk into a room and command attention without saying a word? Why do certain individuals become the center of gravity in their relationships, their careers, and their lives? It's not luck, and it's not some unattainable gift. It's self-mastery. These people know how to control their emotions, how to value their time, and how to create an aura of mystery and confidence that draws others to them like a moth to a flame. This is where Stoicism comes in. The Stoics believed that the key to true power lies in mastering yourself. They taught that when you detach yourself from external validation and focus on controlling your own thoughts and actions, you gain a sense of freedom and confidence that is unshakable. And here's the kicker. When you stop chasing people, they start chasing you. Why? Because people are naturally drawn to what they can't have and what they don't fully understand. But that's not all. This secret also taps into the principles of dark psychology, not in a harmful way, but in a way that helps you understand the deep emotional triggers that drive human behavior. Scarcity, unpredictability, and value are the cornerstones of this approach. When you combine these psychological insights with the wisdom of Stoicism, you create a powerful magnetic presence that is impossible to resist. Now, let's be real. This isn't for everyone. This isn't about playing games or manipulating others. It's about doing the hard work of becoming the best version of yourself, someone who doesn't need to chase, beg, or plead for attention. Someone who knows their worth and isn't afraid to walk away when they're not being treated the way they deserve. Let me ask you, are you ready to stop chasing? Are you ready to become the kind of person who attracts others effortlessly simply by being unapologetically you? If you're ready to take control of your energy and transform the way others see you, I want you to do one thing for me right now. Go to the comments and type, "I control my destiny, not their attention." Let that be your first step toward mastering the secret I'm about to share with you. And trust me, you're not here by accident. You're here because deep down, you know you're capable of so much more. You're here because you're tired of giving your power away. You're here because it's time to flip the script and make them chase you. So, sit back, take a deep breath, and get ready to learn the art of self-mastery, confidence, and irresistible presence. By the end of this video, you'll have a new way of thinking, a new way of living, and a secret so powerful it will completely change the way you approach your relationships and your life. Before we get into the actionable steps, let's talk about the foundation. If you're going to make someone chase you, you need to understand what truly makes a person attractive, not just on the surface, but at their core. Attraction isn't about looks or wealth or status. Those things fade, and they're not enough to hold someone's attention. Real attraction is about energy. It's about the way you make people feel when they're around you. And here's the secret. People are drawn to what feels rare. Think about it. When something is everywhere, easy to access, or always available, we start taking it for granted. But when something, or someone, feels unique, scarce, or valuable, our minds can't help but focus on it. We want what we feel we might lose. And this is where most people go wrong. They overextend themselves. They make themselves too available. They try too hard to prove their worth. In doing so, they inadvertently lower their perceived value. But what if you flipped the script? What if you became the rare, high-value person that others naturally want to be around? This is where Stoicism offers us a powerful lesson. The Stoics believed that self-mastery is the ultimate source of power. When you control your emotions, your reactions, and your energy, you become unshakable. People are drawn to that kind of strength because it's so rare in today's world. Let me break this down for you. There are two kinds of people in life: those who need others to validate them, and those who validate themselves. The first group is constantly chasing approval, bending over backward to keep people in their lives. The second group, the ones who validate themselves, don't chase anyone. They don't need to. Their confidence, independence, and self-assured energy naturally draw others in, and that's who you're going to become. It starts with understanding your value. You are not here to beg for anyone's attention. You are not here to prove your worth to people who don't see it. Your job is to see it for yourself. Because the truth is, people only value what you value. If you don't respect your own time, your own energy, and your own boundaries, why would anyone else? Now, let's add a layer of dark psychology to this. One of the most powerful psychological triggers is scarcity. People value what feels rare, what feels like it might slip away if they don't act. This doesn't mean playing hard to get. It means genuinely being selective with your time and attention. You don't have to be rude or cold, but you do have to prioritize yourself. When you start treating your time and energy as valuable, others will do the same. And here's a little paradox for you. The less you need someone, the more they'll want you. It's human nature. People are wired to chase what they can't fully have, to desire what feels just out of reach. This doesn't mean you should manipulate or withhold affection. It means you should live in such a way that your presence feels like a gift, not a given. So, here's your first actionable step. Start valuing yourself the way you want others to value you. Stop apologizing for who you are. Stop over-explaining yourself. And most importantly, stop trying to prove your worth to anyone. When you carry yourself with quiet confidence and unshakable self-respect, people will feel it, they'll see it, and they won't be able to resist it. If this resonates with you, I want you to comment below. I am rare and I am valuable. Let that be your affirmation as you begin this journey. Because the moment you start treating yourself like a high-value person, the world will follow suit. Now that you understand the foundation of attraction, your value, and the importance of scarcity, it's time to dive into a powerful layer that will change the way you see human behavior forever. This is where dark psychology comes into play, and trust me, it's not as ominous as it sounds. Dark psychology isn't about manipulation or deceit. It's about understanding the hidden forces that drive people's thoughts, emotions, and actions. And when you combine this understanding with Stoic self-mastery, you unlock an unstoppable power. Let's start with a simple but profound truth. People are emotional creatures. While we like to think of ourselves as logical and rational, the truth is that emotions govern most of our decisions. Love, fear, excitement, curiosity, these are the invisible strings that pull us in different directions. If you can learn to understand these emotions, and even better, to subtly influence them, you'll find that people will naturally gravitate toward you. One of the most potent emotional triggers you can leverage is unpredictability. Think about it. We're wired to crave novelty, to be curious about what we can't fully understand. When someone is too predictable, too consistent, they become easy to figure out, and therefore easy to dismiss. But when someone keeps you guessing, when they add an element of mystery, your mind can't help but stay hooked. This doesn't mean you should play games or be inconsistent in your values. Instead, it means that you should avoid being overly predictable in your actions. For example, don't always respond instantly to messages. Don't always say yes to plans. Don't always share everything about yourself upfront. Create an air of intrigue. Give people just enough to be interested, but not so much that they feel like they've already figured you out. Remember, mystery is magnetic. Now, let's pair this with another psychological trigger, the power of emotional highs and lows. This is one of the most misunderstood aspects of human relationships, but when used correctly, it's incredibly effective. People are most attached to experiences that evoke strong emotions, whether positive or negative. Think about your favorite movie or your most memorable relationship. Chances are those experiences weren't emotionally flat. They were a roller coaster, full of moments that made you laugh, cry, or even feel challenged. The same principle applies to attraction. If every interaction you have with someone is overly neutral or predictable, it won't leave a lasting impression. But when you can evoke a range of emotions, excitement, curiosity, even a little bit of frustration, you create an emotional imprint that's hard to forget. Again, this doesn't mean being manipulative. It means being dynamic, showing different sides of yourself, and keeping the connection alive with variety and depth. Here's the Stoic twist. While you're creating this emotional intrigue, you must remain grounded. Never let your emotions control you. Instead, become a master of your own feelings, so you can navigate every situation with confidence and poise. The Stoics believed that self-mastery was the key to freedom, and when you combine that with a deep understanding of emotional triggers, you become someone people can't help but chase. So, here's your next actionable step. Stop being predictable. Embrace the power of mystery and emotional depth. Let people see that you're more than just one thing, that you're a layered, dynamic individual who's not afraid to live with passion and purpose. If this resonates with you, I want you to comment below, "I am a mystery worth exploring." Let that affirmation remind you that your depth and intrigue are your greatest strengths. Now that you understand the power of unpredictability and emotional intrigue, it's time to unlock one of the most critical aspects of attraction: scarcity. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly appreciated something that was always available to you? It's human nature to overlook what feels abundant, what feels easy to access. But the moment something becomes scarce, we instinctively place a higher value on it. This is the law of value, and it's one of the most powerful tools you can use to make people chase you. Think about the things you treasure most in life. Maybe it's a limited edition item, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, or a relationship that felt one of a kind. Why do these things hold so much value? Because they're rare. Scarcity creates urgency. It makes us pay attention. It forces us to act, often without even realizing why. This is where most people make their first mistake. They make themselves too available. They're always the first to text back, the first to adjust their schedule, the first to compromise. And in doing so, they unintentionally signal that their time and attention are not valuable. But here's the thing. You teach people how to treat you. If you act like your time is limitless, they'll treat it that way. So, how do you master scarcity without being rude or distant? It starts with boundaries. Stop giving unlimited access to your time, your energy, and your attention. Be intentional. Say no when you need to. Make your presence something people have to earn, not something they can take for granted. This doesn't mean playing games. It means living your life with purpose and prioritizing what truly matters to you. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone who is always available. You can text them at any hour, cancel plans at the last minute, and they'll always rearrange their life to accommodate you. Now imagine someone who values their time, They have goals, commitments, and a clear sense of purpose. When you're with them, they're present and engaged, but you know their time is limited. Which person do you value more? It's the second one, isn't it? Because their time feels like a gift, not a given. This is the mindset you need to adopt. Start treating your time and energy like a precious resource, because it is. When you do this, you'll notice something amazing. People will begin to respect your boundaries. They'll make more effort to be around you. They'll value your presence because it feels rare and meaningful. Here's a pro tip. One of the easiest ways to create scarcity is to focus on your own life. Pursue your passions, work on your goals, and invest in your personal growth. When your life is full and fulfilling, you naturally become more selective about who gets your time. And that selectiveness is incredibly attractive. Here's the Stoic perspective. The Stoics believed that the most valuable things in life, wisdom, virtue, and inner peace, are never found in abundance. They require effort, discipline, and intentionality. The same principle applies to your relationships. If you want to be valued, you have to value yourself first. So here's your next actionable step. Audit your life. Ask yourself, am I giving away my time and energy too freely? If the answer is yes, it's time to make a change. Start setting boundaries. Start saying no to things that don't serve you. And most importantly, start living in a way that makes your presence feel like a gift. If this resonates with you, I want you to comment below. I am valuable, and my time is precious. Let this be your declaration as you step into your power. Let's take everything we've discussed so far, value, scarcity, and unpredictability, and bring it to its most powerful conclusion, detachment. This single principle can completely transform the way people perceive you and, more importantly, how you perceive yourself. Detachment isn't just a mindset, it's a lifestyle. It's the art of being so centered in your own purpose, your own happiness, and your own value that you stop needing validation from anyone else. Here's the paradox. The less you need someone, the more they want you. It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? But think about it. When you need someone's attention, you give away your power. You make them the center of your universe. And whether you realize it or not, that energy of neediness pushes people away. Why? Because it signals that you lack something, that you're incomplete without them. But when you practice detachment, the game changes entirely. Detachment isn't about being cold or indifferent. It's about being rooted in the understanding that your happiness, your worth, and your peace come from within, not from anyone else. When you live in this space of inner confidence, you become magnetic. People are drawn to you because they sense your independence and self-assurance. They want to be part of your world, not because you need them, but because you've shown them that you don't. Here's a truth most people don't want to admit. You can't control how others feel about you. You can't force someone to like you, to chase you, or to value you, but you can control how you feel about yourself. And when you master that, you'll find that the right people naturally gravitate toward you. Stoicism teaches us that we must detach ourselves from things beyond our control. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is the essence of detachment. When you stop tying your worth to other people's actions, you become unshakable. You stop reacting to every little thing they do or say. Instead, you remain calm, composed, and in control. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're texting someone you're interested in, and they don't respond for hours or even days. The old attached version of you might spiral into self-doubt, wondering what you did wrong or if they're losing interest. But the detached version of you, they don't flinch. Why? Because their sense of worth doesn't depend on a text message. They're too busy living their life, working on their goals, and enjoying their own company to be rattled by someone else's delay. This level of detachment is incredibly attractive. It sends a powerful message. I am whole and complete on my own. And that's the kind of energy people can't resist. They'll start to wonder, why aren't you affected? Why aren't you chasing? What makes you so confident? And just like that, the dynamic shifts in your favor. So, how do you cultivate detachment? Start by building a life that you love. Invest in your passions, your goals, and your growth. Spend time with people who uplift you. And most importantly, remind yourself daily that your value doesn't depend on anyone else. Here's your actionable step. The next time you feel the urge to seek validation from someone, pause. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, am I giving away my power? If the answer is yes, shift your focus back to yourself. Reclaim your energy. If this resonates with you, I want you to comment below. I am whole and complete on my own. Let that affirmation guide you as you step into your power. Now that you've embraced detachment and begun to reclaim your power, it's time to amplify your presence by mastering one of the most underrated psychological principles, the mirror effect. People are drawn to those who reflect the qualities they admire or wish they had in themselves. Confidence, self-assuredness, and composure are magnetic because they give others permission to feel the same way. Here's the thing. Most people are insecure, uncertain, or caught up in their own emotional struggles. When they meet someone who radiates confidence, it's like a breath of fresh air. They see in you what they aspire to be, and that's why reflecting confidence is so powerful. It not only makes you stand out, but it also makes people feel better about themselves in your presence. Think about this for a moment. Have you ever been around someone who made you feel calm and self-assured just by the way they carried themselves? They didn't need to say much, yet their energy made you feel comfortable and even inspired. That's the mirror effect in action. Now imagine becoming that person for others, the one who radiates strength, calm, and quiet confidence. People won't just want to be around you, they'll start chasing you, hoping to tap into the energy you bring. Here's where Stoicism gives us a unique edge. The Stoics believed in leading by example. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." This principle applies directly to the mirror effect. If you want others to see you as confident, composed, and valuable, you must first embody those traits yourself. You can't fake this. It has to come from a place of genuine self-assurance. But how do you reflect confidence, especially if you're not feeling it yet? Start with your body language. Stand tall, make eye contact, and speak clearly and intentionally. Confidence isn't about being loud or boastful. It's about being calm and certain in your actions. When you walk into a room, own the space, not by demanding attention, but by quietly exuding a sense of purpose and control. Next, practice active listening. When you engage with others, give them your full attention. People are so used to being ignored or half listened to that when someone truly hears them, it feels extraordinary. This alone can set you apart and create a connection that others will want to pursue. Finally, reflect positivity and optimism. Confidence isn't just about looking strong, it's about making others feel good in your presence. When you uplift people, when you reflect their potential back to them, they'll associate those feelings with you. They'll start chasing you, not just because of who you are, but because of how you make them feel about themselves. Here's a psychological twist. The mirror effect isn't just about projecting confidence. It's also about subtly matching the other person's energy. People feel most comfortable with those who seem to understand them. So while you should radiate your own confidence, also pay attention to the other person's vibe. If they're energetic, match that energy in a controlled way. If they're calm, dial it back to meet them where they are. This creates a sense of harmony that draws people in. Now, here's your actionable step. The next time you're in a conversation, focus on reflecting the energy and qualities you want to see in the other person. Stand tall, listen intently, and project calm confidence. Watch how they respond. You'll be amazed at how quickly the dynamic shifts in your favor. If this resonates with you, I want you to comment below. I reflect confidence and inspire others. Let that affirmation remind you of the power you hold to influence the way others see themselves and you. Now that you've mastered the mirror effect and begun radiating confidence, it's time to tap into one of the most powerful forces in human connection: emotional intrigue. People don't chase what feels ordinary or flat. They chase what makes them feel. If you want someone to pursue you, to think about you long after you've left the room, you need to create moments that leave an emotional impact. But here's the trick. It's not just about making someone feel happy or appreciated. Real emotional intrigue comes from depth, from showing that you're a multifaceted person with layers to uncover. It's about creating highs and lows, not in a manipulative way, but in a way that keeps them engaged and invested in the connection. Think about it. The most memorable stories, movies, or relationships are the ones that take us on an emotional journey. If everything is too safe, too predictable, it fades into the background. So, how do you create emotional intrigue in a healthy and authentic way? First, show vulnerability, but selectively. People are drawn to those who are confident enough to reveal their struggles, dreams, or passions without oversharing. This creates a sense of trust and depth that's hard to ignore. When you let someone see a glimpse of your inner world, they'll naturally want to know more. But here's the key. Don't lay everything out at once. Leave a little mystery. Let them work to uncover who you are. Next, bring contrast into your interactions. Show them that you're not one-dimensional. Be serious when the moment calls for it, but don't be afraid to show humor or playfulness too. Share a deep thought one moment, then follow it with something light-hearted. This emotional variety keeps them engaged and wondering what's coming next. Remember, it's not about creating drama, it's about creating depth. Another powerful way to build emotional intrigue is through shared experiences. Take them out of their routine, invite them into your world, and show them something they've never experienced before, whether it's introducing them to a unique hobby, taking them to an unfamiliar place, or simply having a conversation that goes beyond surface-level topics. These shared moments will leave a lasting impression. And here's where Stoicism ties in beautifully. While you're creating these emotional highs and lows, you remain grounded. You don't let your emotions overwhelm you or control your actions. Instead, you guide the emotional tone of the connection with intention and grace. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When you stay calm and composed, even as you evoke strong emotions in others, you become a safe yet exciting presence in their life. Here's a critical piece of the puzzle. Emotional intrigue isn't just about intensity, it's also about consistency. If you show depth and interest one day, but then disappear or act indifferent the next, it creates confusion, not intrigue. Be steady in your intentions while allowing the emotional dynamic to evolve naturally. So, here's your actionable step. In your next conversation or interaction, focus on creating an emotional experience. Share a story that shows vulnerability, ask a thought-provoking question, or introduce a new experience that breaks the monotony. Pay attention to how they respond, and don't be afraid to guide the tone of the interaction. If this resonates with you, comment below. I create emotional depth and unforgettable moments. Let that affirmation remind you of your ability to leave a lasting impact on others. By now, you've mastered the art of confidence, scarcity, and emotional intrigue. But here's where the real magic happens: silence and mystery. These two elements are your secret weapons, the final pieces of the puzzle that make people chase you, not just out of curiosity, but with a genuine desire to understand you and be part of your world. Why are silence and mystery so powerful? Because in a world full of noise, they stand out. Most people talk too much, share too much, and give too much away. They try to fill every silence with words, thinking that it keeps the connection alive. But here's the truth. When you speak less, you say more. Silence forces people to lean in. It creates space for curiosity to grow, and curiosity is the root of intrigue. Think about this. Have you ever met someone who wasn't quick to share every detail about themselves? Someone who answered questions thoughtfully, only revealing just enough to keep you guessing. How did that make you feel? Probably captivated, maybe even a little obsessed. That's the power of mystery. It makes people invest their energy into figuring you out. Here's how to master it. First, stop oversharing. You don't need to explain your every move or thought. If someone asks about your day, you don't need to give a play-by-play. Instead, share something meaningful or unexpected, then let the silence do the rest. For example, instead of saying, "My day was fine, I did this and that," say something intriguing like, "I had a pretty interesting day, learned something I didn't expect." Then stop. Let them ask the next question. Second, embrace the power of pauses. When you're in a conversation, don't rush to fill every gap. Take a moment to think before you speak. This not only makes you appear more thoughtful and composed, but it also creates a sense of tension that draws the other person in. They'll hang on your words, wondering what you're going to say next. Third, control the narrative. Mystery isn't about being secretive. It's about being intentional with what you share and when. Share pieces of yourself gradually, like chapters in a story. This keeps people engaged, wanting to know more. But here's the key. Don't make it all about you. Be equally curious about the other person. Ask questions that make them think and open up. The more invested they are in sharing with you, the more they'll value your connection. Stoicism teaches us to value silence. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This wisdom is timeless. When you listen more than you talk, you gain insight into what others value, think, and feel. And when you do speak, your words carry more weight. Here's the psychological twist. Silence creates a sense of scarcity. When you don't share everything up front, your presence becomes more valuable. People will wonder what you're thinking, what you're doing, and what makes you tick. And that wonder turns into attraction. But remember, mystery is a balancing act. You don't want to come across as aloof or disinterested. The goal is to share just enough to keep them intrigued, while maintaining an air of unpredictability. Be warm, be engaging, but always leave them wanting more. Here's your actionable step. In your next conversation, practice intentional silence. Pause before you speak. Share just enough to spark curiosity and let the other person fill in the gaps. Watch how the dynamic shifts and how they lean in to learn more about you. If this resonates with you, comment below. I speak with purpose and leave a lasting impression. Let that affirmation guide you as you master the art of silence and mystery. Now that you've built a foundation of confidence, mastered scarcity, created emotional intrigue, and harnessed the power of silence and mystery, it's time to bring it all together. This is where the transformation happens. This is how you become the person they can't stop thinking about, the one they chase, not because you ask them to, but because they want to. Here's the key. Attraction isn't about a single tactic. It's about the energy you carry and the way you consistently show up in your life. People chase what they perceive as valuable, unattainable, and deeply intriguing. And when you align all the principles we've discussed, you naturally become that person. First, remember the importance of self-mastery. People who chase others are often chasing something they feel they lack in themselves. But when you stop seeking validation and start focusing on your own growth, you flip the dynamic. You're no longer the seeker, you're the prize. The more you embody confidence, independence, and purpose, the more others will gravitate toward you. Next, create a sense of exclusivity. Think about it. People don't chase what's freely available. They chase what feels rare, what feels special. Be selective with your time and attention. This doesn't mean playing games or being rude. It means valuing yourself enough to only give your energy to people and situations that align with your goals and values. When people sense that your time is limited but meaningful, they'll work harder to earn it. Emotional intrigue is another critical piece of the puzzle. By showing depth, vulnerability, and unpredictability, you keep people emotionally invested. They'll find themselves thinking about your words, your actions, and the experiences you've shared. And when they're emotionally invested, they'll chase, not out of obligation, but out of genuine desire to stay connected with you. Now pair this with the power of mystery. Don't give away everything about yourself. Let people earn the privilege of knowing you on a deeper level. Drop hints, share intriguing stories, and let the silence speak for you. This creates a sense of curiosity that keeps them coming back for more. Here's the Stoic perspective that ties it all together. Live your life for yourself, not for the approval of others. Marcus Aurelius said, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." This wisdom applies here. Stop living for the chase. Start living for your own growth, fulfillment, and purpose. When you do that, people will naturally be drawn to your energy. They'll want to be part of your journey, not because you need them, but because they see the value in walking alongside you. But here's the ultimate secret. You must stay detached from the outcome. Whether someone chases you or not should never define your sense of self-worth. When you truly embrace detachment, you radiate an energy of independence and self-assurance that is incredibly attractive. People will chase you because you've shown them that you don't need them. And in a world full of neediness, that kind of strength is irresistible. So here's your actionable step. Take everything we've discussed and start applying it in your life. Focus on building your confidence, setting boundaries, creating emotional intrigue, and maintaining mystery. And most importantly, live for yourself. Stop waiting for people to chase you and watch as they naturally begin to. If this resonates with you, comment below. I am the prize and I live for myself. Let that affirmation remind you of your power and your worth. Congratulations, you've made it to the end of this transformative journey. By now, you understand the secret to making people chase you. Desperately isn't about manipulation or games. It's about mastering yourself, embracing your value, and radiating the kind of energy that naturally draws others in. This isn't just about relationships. It's about building a life where you attract the right people, opportunities, and experiences by being authentically and unapologetically you. Let's take a moment to recap the principles you've learned. Self-mastery, the foundation of all attraction. When you control your emotions, reactions, and energy, you project strength and confidence that people can't resist. Scarcity, your time and attention are precious. Treat them as such, and others will too. Emotional intrigue, create connections that evoke depth and curiosity, keeping others engaged and invested. Silence and mystery. Speak with purpose, leave space for curiosity, and let others earn the privilege of knowing you. Detachment, the ultimate key to power. When you stop needing validation and live for yourself, you become magnetic. Now, here's the most important takeaway. None of this works unless you believe in yourself. You are the prize. You are valuable. And the moment you fully embrace that truth, the world will begin to reflect it back to you. But let me ask you this. What will you do with this power? Will you use it to gain attention from others? Or will you use it to build a life that you love? The Stoics teach us to focus on what we can control, our actions, our growth, and our purpose. So take these principles and use them to create a life that fulfills you. Because when you're living a life of purpose and passion, people won't just chase you. They'll want to be part of what you're building. Here's your final actionable step. Start today. Don't wait for others to see your value. Start showing it to yourself. Build your confidence, set boundaries, and live intentionally. And as you do, watch how the world begins to respond to the energy you're putting out. If this video resonated with you, I want you to